Every single morning, 90,000 people drive across a bridge that was never supposed to still exist. It has no shoulders, no room to pull over if something goes wrong. 4 narrow lanes carved into a steel structure that climbs 135 feet above the Calcasieu River at a grade so steep that truckers have been known to lose braking control on the descent. Built in 1952, designed to last 50 years, rated 6.6 out of 100 by the federal government, ranked the 7th most dangerous bridge in the entire United States. And for over 70 years, not a single politician, not a single administration managed to replace it. Until now. Groundbreaking on the replacement finally happened in April 2026. A $2.4 billion project, a new bridge, a new era for Southwest Louisiana. After decades of studies, promises, failed votes, vetoed plans, lost federal grants, and political theater, dirt is finally moving. But to understand why it took this long, we have to go back to a night in August 1981, when the bridge nearly killed 26 people. And the government's response set the pattern for everything that followed. The Calcasieu River Bridge sits on Interstate 10 between Lake Charles and Westlake, Louisiana. It is the main artery connecting southwest Louisiana to the rest of the country. Before it existed, crossing the Calcasieu River meant taking the drawbridge near the port of Lake Charles on Shell Beach Drive. A slow, narrow, frustrating crossing that could barely handle the traffic of a small town, let alone a growing industrial region. In the 1930s, as Highway 90 was upgraded and traffic across the country began to accelerate, Louisiana knew it needed something bigger. Engineers designed a new crossing in the 1940s. Construction started in 1948. The bridge opened in 1952. Built under the administration of Governor Earl K. Long, connecting the two sides of Calcasieu Parish with 4 lanes, decorative iron railings featuring crossed pistols, a nod to the region's history, and a soaring 135-foot peak above the river to give clearance for the industrial ships that moved through below. Locals called it the Pistol Bridge, after those decorative guns on the railings. It was an engineering achievement for its time. It was designed to carry 37,000 vehicles per day and last 50 years. Both of those numbers were going to become problems. Here is the detail that matters. When Interstate 10 was constructed across the southern United States in the late 1950s, engineers needed a way to connect the route through Lake Charles. The Calcasieu River Bridge had only been open for a few years. It was right there, it was functional. And demolishing a functioning bridge to build a new interstate-grade crossing would be expensive and time-consuming. So they did what governments always do when they can avoid a difficult decision. They took the easy route. They grandfathered the old Highway 90 bridge into Interstate 10. They declared a 1950s civilian road bridge to be part of the American interstate highway system, knowing it was not designed for that volume, that speed, or those loads. And in doing so, they handed the problem to the future. The future arrived on August 27th, 1981. It is 10:25 in the evening. A tractor trailer loaded with steel pipe is traveling eastbound across the bridge, descending the steep east side toward Lake Charles. As the truck rolls down, a steel plate, a temporary patch covering a hole in one of the bridge's expansion joints, breaks loose. The plate swings upward. It strikes the left side fuel tank of the tractor. The tank ruptures. 75 gallons of diesel fuel pour across half a mile of bridge surface in seconds. The bridge becomes a sheet of oil in the dark. The vehicles behind the truck have no warning. There is no shoulder to escape to. There is no room to avoid anything. 26 vehicles are involved in what happens next. A cascading series of skidding collisions on a surface that offers no friction, no grip, no chance. 3 people are killed, 18 are injured. The National Transportation Safety Board investigates. Their conclusion is precise and damning. The probable cause was a diesel fuel spill from a tank, punctured by a dislodged steel plate used as a temporary repair of a bridge expansion joint. And the contributing factor? The failure of the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development to make a permanent repair at that joint. A temporary patch, on a bridge carrying interstate traffic, on a crossing that was already 30 years old. They knew the expansion joint was damaged. They patched it with a steel plate and moved on. 3 people died because of that decision. And what changed after the report? What permanent repairs were made? What structural overhaul was triggered by the death of 3 people on a federally rated deficient bridge? Almost nothing. The state of Louisiana declared the bridge safe. They continued to maintain it with periodic repairs. The years passed. The traffic grew. By the mid-1990s, the bridge is carrying well over 50,000 vehicles daily, nearly 40% more than its design limit. By 2016, that number reaches 80,000. By the early 2020s, it is over 90,000, more than double the load this structure was ever engineered to bear, from a structure that has now outlived its intended lifespan by 2 decades and counting. The ratings tell the story clearly. In 1992, the bridge's superstructure earns a 5 out of 9. Fair. By 2010, that same superstructure is rated 3 out of 9. Serious. The substructure, the bones beneath the surface, drops to 3 as well. The overall sufficiency rating falls from 40.9 in 1992 to 9.9 out of 100 by 2010. For context, when the Interstate 35 West Bridge in Minneapolis collapsed into the Mississippi River in 2007, killing 13 people, its sufficiency rating was 50. The Calcasieu River Bridge, at 9.9, is operating at a fraction of that. The Federal Highway Administration and the Louisiana Department of Transportation formally recommend replacing the bridge in 1999. This is not breaking news. This is not a surprise. The federal government, the state government, and every traffic engineer who looks at this structure reaches the same conclusion. It needs to come down. A feasibility study is completed in 2002. Estimated cost, $450 million. And here is where the trap closes. $450 million is not a number that Louisiana can casually produce. The state has 13,050 bridges. 1,827 of them are considered structurally deficient. The money to fix all of them simultaneously simply does not exist. And so a familiar process begins. The one that Louisiana's own governor would later describe in plain language at the 2026 groundbreaking ceremony. Study it, announce it, delay it, repeat. In 2012, the state patches the bridge again with another round of repairs and declares it safe for continued use. The expansion joints, the same type of joint that killed 3 people in 1981, are repaired but not eliminated. They are a permanent feature of the bridge's design, part of the structure itself. In 2015, Louisiana announces a plan to build a new bridge alongside the existing one. Funding challenges delay it immediately. In 2017, the sufficiency rating falls further to 6.6 out of 100. In 2019, the federal government formally initiates the replacement process again. A feasibility study is completed. Environmental impact reviews begin. President Trump visits Lake Charles in May 2019 and makes a public promise from the stage. If we win this election, we are giving you a brand new I-10 bridge. The crowd cheers. Nothing moves. The replacement discussions have been going on for so long that the local historian Ably Cormier puts it simply: crossing the Calcasieu has always been a problem. Then, in January 2024, the exact scenario from 1981 almost repeats itself. A woman is driving eastbound across the bridge when she notices something unusual. A piece of metal is sticking up from one of the expansion joints, protruding from the surface of the road. She calls Westlake Police. Police notify the Department of Transportation. Eastbound traffic is shut down immediately. Emergency repair crews are deployed. The DOTD identifies the issue: a damaged finger expansion joint. The same type of joint, the same bridge, the same failure mode that sent diesel across half a mile of pavement 43 years earlier and killed 3 people. This time, one alert driver sees it and makes a call. The bridge is closed. The repair happens. 5 months later, in January 2024, another incident on the same bridge. Ice forms on the surface during an unusual cold snap. Vehicles pile up. A man trapped in the chaos jumps from the bridge into the Calcasieu River below. He does not survive. The bridge is killing people while the government is still in the process of deciding how to replace it. The final political battle over this bridge is almost as absurd as the engineering story. In November 2023, the Louisiana Legislature's Joint Transportation Committee votes on a public-private partnership to fund the replacement bridge. The estimated cost is now $2.1 billion, nearly 5 times the 2002 estimate. The funding mechanism includes tolls on vehicles using the new bridge, with higher charges for trucks. The Louisiana Motor Transport Association objects. Truckers are concerned about the $12.50 charge per crossing. The vote is held along party lines. The plan is rejected 8-6. The federal government, which has already awarded a $150 million grant for the project based on the promise of a construction timeline, sends a letter to Louisiana's Transportation Secretary. The message is direct. If a deal is not reached by September 30th, 2024, we will rescind the $150 million and give it to another project. Louisiana is now at risk of losing $150 million in federal funding for a bridge replacement that has been identified as urgently necessary for 25 years because of a political dispute over a $12.50 toll. A new deal is eventually negotiated. The Joint Transportation Committee approves a revised public-private partnership in 2024. In October 2025, the final plans are confirmed. Construction begins March 2026. The new bridge will be lower, reduced from 152 feet to between 75 and 95 feet, eliminating the dangerous steep grade entirely. It will have 3 lanes in each direction, full shoulders, roadway lighting, and modern safety standards throughout. Traffic is expected to shift to the new bridge by February 2030. Once that happens, demolition of the current bridge will begin. The decorative pistils from the original railings, the ones that gave this bridge its nickname, the ones that truckers have driven past for 7 decades, will be removed before demolition and handed to the state's Department of Transportation. What happens to them after that has not yet been decided. At the groundbreaking ceremony in April 2026, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry stands before the rusted 1950s bridge with a shovel. He brushes away a cloud of love bugs from the microphone and speaks directly about what took so long. They would study it, announce it, delay it, repeat, he says, again and again. I want you to know that has ended. Behind him, the bridge stands exactly as it has since 1952. 4 narrow lanes, no shoulders, a steep grade that has caused 100 incidents and taken lives, a sufficiency rating of 6.6 out of 100. 74 years old, 24 years past its design lifespan, 90,000 vehicles crossing it every single day. The bridge that was never supposed to be an interstate. The bridge that killed 3 people and was patched with a steel plate and kept open. The bridge that every level of government agreed needed to come down, starting in 1999, and then spent 27 years studying, announcing, delaying, and repeating. It is finally coming down. But in the years before construction is complete, before the new bridge opens in 2031, 90,000 people will cross the Calcasieu River Bridge every single day, on a structure rated 6.6 out of 100, with expansion joints that have already failed twice in 43 years. On 4 lanes with no shoulder, on a grade so steep it frightens experienced truck drivers. It is still there. It is still carrying them. And the government that let this happen for 50 years is now asking for 5 more. There are hundreds of bridges like this, one scattered across America, known, documented, rated, and deferred. The Calcasieu River Bridge is not an exception. It is a pattern. And the only question worth asking is not how this happened. We know how it happened. The question is, which bridge comes next? If this story made you feel something, you already know why it matters. Subscribe, and we will be there the next time something like this surfaces before the news cycle finds it. Save, cancel.